Welcome to the Author's Porch, where every good conversation happens. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride from author to author. We want to give you an experience where you learn and enjoy the conversation. Authors tell you about their journey, you learn about new books, and at the end of the day, you go home with a smile on your face because the Author's Porch is a beacon of light, bringing you home to the family you never knew you had. We hope that you enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Author's Porch, where every great conversation happens. I'm CJ.
I'm Elizabeth. How are y'all doing out there today on this wonderful Saturday morning?
Yeah, it's great to be back. We love coming here and talking to you every Saturday and bringing in new authors to chat about the author journey and the shenanigans we get up to, because we live in a solitaire world when we're writing, but we come here Saturday, we come together and we talk about different things. We were going to have 3 guests on this weekend, but we have the lovely Justina Luther, the lone author, but we're so glad we have her because we have already been having a great conversation. But before we bring Justina on, Elizabeth, how has your week been?
My week. It's been a week. I've had
Yeah?
a lot going on this week. Just doing some, minor things, company things, and with school and everything, and some baking on the side. So it's been a week. It's been a great week.
Well,
How
that's
about you, CJ?
good. I don't remember.
You don't remember your week?
No, it's NaNoWriMo, so it's nothing but writing. So all
Okay.
I know is the writing, it's happening. And okay, I gotta tell you. So I finished the book one of the books that I was writing that is due on the 30th of November, and I finished the scene, like the ending scene, and I
Okay.
was like, oh, like, that's the best part of being, because it's a contemporary romance and it's gonna be
Okay.
free, right? And when I finished it, I was like, I told my husband, I said, "Babe, listen, this is so cute, it's so cute." And I read it to him and he was like, "Okay." I was like, "Ugh, totally wrong person, right?" So yeah,
Wow.
that was my week. I've just been writing. I wrote 15,000 words this week and it felt absolutely amazing. So
So
that
you're
was
getting
my
back.
week. I don't remember anything else that happened. NaNoWriMo, I literally shut down life
Hmm.
and I just write. It's like, don't talk to me, don't nothing. I just need to write. It's my get back my mental health, because writing is where I get that back.
And I think it was one day this week where I didn't call you. I didn't say anything or anything. I just went. And then when I did call you, I said, "Well, how was your day?" And it was like, it didn't seem like we missed a beat, but we did. It was a whole day. And he's like, "I did writing, writing, writing." I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
amazing." So I'm glad that you're getting back in your flow, and you got that writing glow on you.
That's that's where I thrive. That's where I
Yeah,
thrive. Yeah, for sure. But,
absolutely.
I know Justina's waiting back there in the green room, and I
Yes,
think that bringing her
Justina.
here and continuing your guys' conversation, because I was laughing just
Oh,
listening to
yeah,
y'all, but I
yeah.
won't tell anyone what it's about. So we're gonna bring Justina Luther back on, and she was here a couple of weeks ago, y'all, and you will get to know her a little bit more in her writing journey, because we just have a great time with Justina. So everybody, welcome Justina Luther to the show.
Hi.
Hey.
Justina,
No, I was just
CJ was just
sorry.
telling everybody what kind of conversation we were having in the green room. So what it was we didn't even know that it was time to come on, and we was just having such a great time, just talking. But anyway, so I'll let you start it off.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me back. Super excited. I was listening to y'all's conversation getting into it, and I almost completely forgot about what we were talking about because, that's my squirrel brain. Hello.
Right.
Especially when I skip the coffee because I'm excited enough. So, you guys think I'm talking now. You should see me when I'm excited and I've had coffee.
I need
Excitement and
coffee.
coffee. Good
Can you
Then
combination.
I
believe a writer writes without coffee? So my coffee pot crapped out on Monday, And I had coffee on Tuesday because I ordered DoorDash McDonald's. Yes, I ordered DoorDash McDonald's because I don't leave the house. And I had coffee on Tuesday and I haven't had coffee since then. I have a coffee pot on order from Amazon and it'll be here next week. I've been writing like a mad woman without coffee.
Now, I actually never drank coffee until I started having deadlines breathe down my neck because I'm sensitive to
Hmm.
caffeine and I still am. So even when I drink coffee, it has to be a little on the weaker side. I try to drink, like, if my mom makes me coffee or something, KO. Like, it tastes great, no problem, but I get the worst headache, like where things are all, it's almost like a migraine because things is almost like doubling on the screen, which is, not great if you're trying to write.
Right.
You guys think I have typos normally? No.
Well, I don't drink
Oh,
coffee, so
I was
I,
getting ready to
I
say Elizabeth doesn't even drink coffee. Like that's sacrilege.
no. Tea. I
See,
love tea.
I'm both. I love tea and I love coffee. Like my mom, I had a double deadline once a novel and a novella due the same day because I had goofed royally, and so that was about 90,000 words I'm looking at in a month. And my mom is like, "You're going to be so happy with this present." And I'm like, "What did she do?" Like when she goes, "You're going to be so happy." I'm like, "Oh, that's very sweet, but what have you done?"
No, I
And
only have. Go ahead and finish. Sorry.
she got me a big carafe for iced coffee. You just fill it up. It's like this big. And
Mm-mm.
so I stick that in the fridge and that'll last me 3 or 4 days because, like I said, I am sensitive to caffeine. So even when I make it lighter, it's not like I can drink the whole thing in a day. But that was a lot nicer when I had to be up, grab my breakfast, coffee, whatever, and then immediately back into the cave to become gremlin.
Mm.
That is true. So I'm sensitive to caffeine. I can only have 1 cup of caffeine a day. So my coffee is my 1 cup. But like I like black coffee flavored coffee.
Black
So
coffee
not
flavored.
black, dark. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Dark coffee flavored coffee. No cream, no sugar.
Okay.
Do not add nothing but coffee flavored like coffee, dark. And it's like tar.
Tar
It's
coffee.
it's
Ye-
strong, but only one a day because I'm very sensitive to the caffeine as well, and I don't have other caffeine beverages throughout the day. It's just one a day, but that one brings me to life.
Mm.
So I've been napping
See,
all week, like
I'm too
big
floofy.
naps.
I'm too floofy for that because I like the pumpkin. I like the French vanilla. I'm floofy, y'all. I'm like,
Well, I do like the free drinks. Now, when I go to Starbucks, I
Oh.
get a mocha with an extra shot of espresso though. Now, come on, I need a stiff drink, okay? I need my stiff drinks. Now, when I drink my tea, I like dark tea. Do not add nothing in it. I like tea flavored tea. Like
Tea
I
flavored tea.
like
Yeah, I
I
like
like to taste
Starbucks.
what the beverage is.
I
Yeah.
like Starbucks, but I don't get any coffee. I get the caramel ribbon crunch, and I
mm,
want it cream based because I don't do coffee. I want it cream based, and
Mm.
they have these like sugary, go on top. I want it on the bottom. I want it on the top, and I want caramel all over it. I just want to. Every time I'm sipping, I want to taste all that through my straw.
so you want the sugar, but not the Zoom.
Yes, yes. I want the sugar without the zoom. Boom.
Oh my goodness. You
Yes.
know
Okay,
what? Next
that needs to be a T-shirt. Sugar and no Zoom. Boom.
Boom. Hey, there you go. You know, man shirt. Sugar no zoom. Boom. So yes. So Justina, we was going back to me
Okay.
baking.
Yes.
Um it was funny. So this morning I baked for an event. I baked some key lime cups and some strawberry cups. And Justina was just telling me about a dessert that her and her sister baked. So Justina, why don't you share that lovely dessert with us?
Okay, so my sister is the baker in the family. She lives across country, but because of our dad having a bleed in his brain about a year and a half ago, and him still being recovering from that, she comes out and visits about once every 2 months, once every other month, depending on schedule and ticket price and all that kind of stuff. So she comes out here, and she's the baker in the family, and so I know that I can get away with trying some different things that I either won't have the gumption to do myself or won't find the time to do or what have you. So this last time, my sister's a little gremlin laughing.
Because we already know what's going to happen, so that's why we're laughing. And
my sister's a Christian. I'm a Christian. Our whole family are Christians. So I really like to be impish when my older sister is around. Mm-hmm. So I found CJ's having some fun. I saw this recipe on Facebook, and it looked so good. It was slutty brownies. It is a layer of your favorite cookie dough. You can go whatever flavor you want. A layer of either your favorite candy or your favorite cookie. We did toasted coconut Oreos on top of chocolate chip cookie dough. And then we did like double fudge brownies over the top. And then you bake it. Y'all, those things end up being about this tall by the time everything is done.
I wanted to know, how tall would it be because of the cookie dough on the bottom?
Well, the cookie dough does not fluff up a lot, surprisingly, because you really have to kind of spread it out over the pan. So you end up with a fairly thin, crunchy layer. And then you've got whatever candy, whatever. Now, if you did like the double or the triple stuff Oreos in the middle, then you're looking. So you do that, and then you do the brownies over the top, and y'all, oh my goodness, those are good. But I dared my sister to take those. I dared my sister to take slutty brownies and deviled eggs to the next church function she had. She didn't, but what she did do was she made slutty brownies for her family night. And I said, I never expected family night to turn slutty. Y'all, just because I write clean stories and I don't do sex scenes and I don't do cursing does not mean I am not an imp. Doesn't mean I like
you have a sense of humor.
I mean, it's okay, Justina. It's okay. I was laughing because of the name, and we was like, deviled eggs and then slutty brownies. I'm like, okay, that's okay.
When the pastor gets up there and says, "Thank you, everybody, for their individual dishes," to be like, "Thank you to the Luther family for their deviled eggs and their slutty brownies." I think as writers, we have some of the sickest sense of humors. And then some of us with our, former careers, it gets a little more, sick. So you have fun with it. You don't mean any harm, but
no.
Oh my gosh.
No harm mentioned, but we just had a good time in the green room with that. So that was just something that we wanted to share. So, authors have fun too, guys. Authors have
fun.
And if you need a recipe for slutty brownies, get a hold of Justina Luther. She has a good one.
Beautiful.
We're having too much fun already. My face is gonna hurt by the time we're done. I'm smiling so much.
I know.
We do have a great time. We've got to do this often because we have a great time. Well, not so often because you got way too many deadlines, Justina. Because
no, I'm actually my last deadline was October 1st.
Really?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going Mad Woman for NaNoWriMo like me?
I am going to recoup right now. That is my goal, because I already have my next books planned out. I know what I want to do. So they're back here, they're cooking. I just am sort of okay, breathe, read. I realized I had not read a book since before my dad was injured, a year and a half. I hadn't read a book. And I'm this is a problem.
Yeah.
I like what you just said. They're back there and they're cooking. So tell me about that cooking process. What goes on in the cooking process? Because I know as some authors, they feel like you have to have all of the information, bam, right there. Sometimes you just have to let it marinate.
So for me, my publisher, the way they were doing things now, they've retooled things, as most companies have, as the disease, which shall not be named, that came and whammied everybody. hit businesses and they had to look at things.
Mm-hmm.
So things have changed slightly, but at the time, we were free to go into this cover album that they had and look at it and pick things and all that kind of stuff. So long as we had, we could prove that we had like a completed story idea, which would be like sending them the blurb, sending them a title. As long as we could prove that we were serious and actually had the gumption behind us to follow through with what we were requesting and had a date in mind, they would mark that cover off for the author and things like that. So I would go in and drool over these covers. And for instance, I'll talk about my book, The Clockwork Killer. I had that story idea started when I was 15. And I sat down and I never was able to really get it going. It just wasn't there. But I always had that kind of seed for it in the back of my mind. And never really thought about it. One night as I'm laying in bed, I am scrolling through their album cover album.
Just like CJ's coffee. Mm-hmm.
And I was going through and I found this cover and it just stopped me in my tracks. It was, the front of it is a skull kind of coming this way, but the back transitions to clock gears.
Oh, wow.
And it was just one of these covers that I'm like, that sparks something in my brain. I don't know what it is. But Crazy Ink has several fabulous horror authors. And horror is one of the genres that I go into, but it is by no means my mainstay. It's just I go there when I get a good idea for it, basically. And I was like, oh, if I don't come up with something for this cover, I want this cover. If I don't come up with something for it now, because I think it had recently been added, I'm like, either Watson or Aaron or somebody is going to grab it. And so I'm laying there and I'm thinking, what can go with this cover? What can go with this cover? What can go with this cover? And this serial killer book idea that I'd had since I was 15 came back into my head. And I'm like, okay, well, that was an idea, but if I tweak it and turn it just a little bit, it fits this cover perfectly. So I sat and started typing out like crazy. I think my cat was looking at me because I'm typing so hard on my phone. I think I'm like jiggling around and she's like, what is wrong with you? And so I got the blurb together and like read it through, made sure it was good. And then I think I hit send to Aaron and commented saved or something, because I think that was how they had us do it on the bottom of the cover, just to let them know, hey, somebody is interested in this. Mm-hmm. And so I got I think the contract was in the next couple of days from Aaron. And yeah, that book is now out, The Clockwork Killer. But yeah, it's just sometimes that's the way those story ideas go for me. I'll see a cover and I'm like, this fits something. What does it fit? It fits. I know it fits. Where does it fit? And so like these ideas, I'll have them in the back of my head for years sometimes. And as I'm laying in bed, I'll have that key moment or that key piece, there's something about the story. So sometimes I'll have the final scene and that'll be the thing that plays around in my head. And then I'm like, okay, well, you could have this scene, and this scene leading up to that. And then I kind of fill in the gaps. Mm-hmm. And very rarely do I actually write any of this down until I'm actually working on the book itself. It's just sort of this stuff that plays in my head. But yeah, that's sort of the way it goes with me. For the last few books that I've done, I have plotted it out, but it's just because life has been crazy. So rather than having to take, 20 minutes or so when I sit down to write, to go, okay, what do I want to do in this scene and I've got the gem of an idea for the scene, so I can just sit down and go. So that's sort of the way it works.
Awesome. That's great. Great. And CJ loves covers.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I'm a cover hoarder. I've got about 20 with folders and titles and I already know the story. I just have to actually write it.
Nice.
I'm horrible. And I keep seeing new
No.
ones every day. I'm like, oh, that one would go so well with that. And it would fit in the series. And I'm like, and I say, don't, because it'll never happen if you don't actually write it. So let it go. Another one will be there whenever you've written the other stories.
That is the thing about covers. Sometimes you'll find that perfect one, but other times you know that when the story is done, there'll be something. You'll find it. You'll find the right one.
So so basically what you do is you get a cover, you look at it and say, this fits somewhere, like you just said, it fits somewhere. And then you just save it until the story comes up and then you'll have it.
Not always. We only save it when I can prove to my publisher, hey, look, I actually have this thing. They don't let you just pull stuff aside if you say, oh, it fits somewhere, type of thing. But sometimes I'll look at a cover and I will say it fits somewhere, and I'll sort of play with it in my head until I've got it.
Until you get it. Okay.
So it just depends. I mean, there have been times where I've written books without covers. Like my first book was done that way, although I had the cover idea in my head for years. And I was like, well, I didn't know how a actual publisher worked, so I didn't know if I would have any kind of say on what the cover looked like or anything like that. I had no idea. And my publisher emailed me. She goes, okay, this is a photo website. I want you to go look at this. And if you see any ideas you like for your cover, let me know. And I was like, actually, I have an idea. And so that was the entirety of the covers for my Step into Darkness series. We kind of took that idea of what I had thought of my whole life, which was the two shadows of basically the two different directions my main character could go. The two shadows are standing behind her for pretty much every single one of the covers, but slight things would change. So that was where the Step into Darkness series and the two spinoffs, how those covers came to be.
That was fun. Yeah, covers can emote so much from a person, and that's why cover designers are instrumental if they are a true cover designer. Like, you have to be careful because true cover designers understand the genre and what the genre needs. Like, the genre itself has colors that are specific to that genre and that are going to actually create a synergistic approach to what's going on. There's also fonts that belong in genres and fonts that do not belong in genres. There's characters, there's backgrounds, there's so many things, right? And what we tend to fall and have problems in the indie world, right, is and I know you're published through a publisher, Justina, but in the indie world, we have a problem with everybody's a cover designer. And I know I create my own covers sometimes. And I don't know all of the stuff within genres, so I'm at fault as well. But the problem is, if you're not following what the reader's expectations are, you're not going to sell books. So it's really hard when you, I think authors sometimes authors, for lack of better words, Karen the cover too much. And when you're Karening the cover to the point of, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. Okay, we're going to give you what you want. Don't come back at me when your book isn't selling because your cover isn't meeting the reader's expectations, right? And these are some of the things I'm learning as I go. And I have one book that is my labor of love. I love this book. And I've changed the cover 4 different times because of the things I'm learning about it. I thought it was a contemporary romance. I thought this, I thought that. I am just now learning through some coaching that I'm going through that it is a woman's fiction book. It is not a contemporary romance. There is a romance inside of it, but it is not the main theme. And because of that, my cover was so wrong. And that's why the readers were like, I'm not going to finish this book. I don't even like that. That has nothing to do with romance. You know, it's a 16-year-old struggle, then it goes through her entire life. So covers, good God, and
Mhm.
people are judging your book by its cover.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's really good, CJ, because as an author, I think that you have to kind of be open. If you have to be open. If something's not
Yeah.
working, you have to be able and willing to know, I got to change it up for this. You can't say I'm sticking to this. This is my cover. This is what it's going to be. Because if it's not capturing that audience, you have to do something else. And like you
Yeah.
just said, you said four times that had to be done.
And I'm about to do it again, but we're on hold until we get more data. Once we get more data, then the determination is going to be made, and I will be going. And I went through a professional cover designer. So the first one I did myself. Then I went to a professional cover designer to have them redo basically the same theme of what the original was, which they did, and it was beautiful, and it started selling at that point. But then the readers weren't happy because they're like, "This ain't no dang on contemporary romance." I mean, the cover was, and the cover was beautiful. That's why it was selling. But then the readers weren't happy because I was selling it as a contemporary romance, but it wasn't. So then I had to learn, well, you can't, just because there's romance in it doesn't mean you could sell it as that. You have to sell it at what it is. So yeah, you've got to get it right. And then I know people that will literally be like, no, this is what I want. This is what it is.
Mhm.
Okay, you're also not a marketer. So it's, oh my God, my mind is being blown by this coaching stuff that I'm in and the learning curve. And it's been 4 years, and a lot of stuff I already knew, but I didn't know how to fix it. So now I'm learning how to fix the stuff that I knew, and I'm watching people make some critical mistakes that I've been watching other people make for so long, and I was just like, okay, I'm not going to keep telling you. You're not going to listen to me. I'll wait till you listen to somebody that you're going to pay, because you won't pay the people that'll give you the free advice. So yeah, the covers. Oh my gosh, I could talk forever about covers.
Yeah, you can.
Like
Love
that's one
covers.
thing. Whoops, sorry.
I do.
I'm saying she loves covers. She'll send me a
I
cover, be like,
do.
look at this. And I'll be like, oh, okay. She's like,
I
this is
do.
amazing. And then I'll say, oh, this is amazing. It's a beautiful cover.
And then I'll
Mhm.
call her and I'll be like, look, this is the story. Wait, just listen. Just wait for it.
And I'm
It's
like,
really bad.
okay, go ahead. Tell me the story.
It's
Because,
it's it's
she has it right
ridiculous.
there. It's fresh. So, you have to.
It's
Nice.
ridiculous.
That is one thing that I'm really thankful for with having Aaron and different people behind me, because I fully admit I don't know what I don't know.
Mm.
Like there there have been it's so funny. When I first started when I was writing when I was a little kid, I felt like there would be a point, like after your first book was published, you're going to feel like you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
No. And if you do, there's a problem.
A big one.
I I don't feel like, I feel like I love writing and I feel like I give it everything I've got for every single story that I write. But if someone tells me they think I've done something wrong, I don't see the problem in listening to that. Like there's not
Yeah.
that. But I will say I have a rule that unless I hear something 3 times, like if it's something that really goes against something that I feel is core to what I do as an author,
Mhm.
I have to hear it 3 times before I really go back and start looking at it. Because if you get it, to me, if you get it 3 times from 3 unrelated sources, then it's something that, hey, okay, there really might actually be a thing here.
Mhm.
Like there really might be something that I need to look at. So otherwise I do, like, I think like the first couple of times, like I'll take it to the editor that worked on the book or what have you. I'm like, hey, this thus and thus was mentioned to me. Have you noticed that? Because they, those editors, they go through and they really delve into those books. And if I get, no, it's fine, then I'm like, okay, well, tuck it back here just in case I keep hearing it, things like that. So yeah, that
Mhm.
goes for cover, that goes for everything, but the covers
Mhm.
are the fun part. I think I
Yeah.
squirrel brained around here for a second.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely right. Sometimes people, they get in their own pigeonhole lane, and it has to do with, editors, designers, all kinds of things. And it has to do with um, their personal preferences after a while. And the only thing you can do is, like you said, you listen to the advice and you bank it. And then if you've heard it more than once, then you know that it's something you can look into. But if it's just that one time, you know that that's an editor's preference or that certain person's preference, and you just kind of, you know, that's what you do.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
totally agree with you there.
absolutely.
Oh, do you write your own blurb, or do you hire some? Ooh, my voice cracked. Or do you hire somebody?
I write my own blurb. Every single word in that book, other than like the copyright at the back, is me.
Okay.
At the blurb, everything. So, because to me, I know what I'm going to put in the book. I
Uh-huh.
know I know where the story is going to go, so I can do at least. I tend to keep my blurbs fairly general. Like I don't get super specific because then you give away everything, and that's no fun.
Yeah,
Which actually can be a pro of writing the blurb before the book. You can't get super specific.
that's true.
Mhm.
You can't give everything away because you don't know everything yet.
Now, Justina, have you been to any like book fest or any type of book thing?
I
Okay.
haven't. I will fully admit that is one thing that is like the giant that I'm staring at, and I'm like, okay,
Wow.
well, right now with my dad's
I
situation,
know, say with your
there's
dad's
time and
situation.
different things.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that situation is sort of a convenient buffer, I should say. It's hard in a lot of ways, but for this particular situation, it's a convenient buffer.
Do you,
Just because I, oh, that scares me. The idea of being out there and like, what do I bring? What do I do? How do I do it? Like, there are so many questions, and like, you've got to go in there with your game face on and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I'm gonna stay back here in my cave. Thank you.
yeah, but do you think that it's a make it or break it with an author's career to actually attend all these things? Because I
It
think it's a
hasn't
lot
broken
of
me so
noise.
far.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of noise and a lot of fluff. And I don't think it's a bad thing to go, but I don't think it's a bad thing not to go either. Because do you see like, I mean, I know indie is different than the publishing world, so a lot of people are going to be like, "Well, you can't put apples and oranges together and expect the same result." And I know people are going to say that, but you don't see like the people in the traditional publishing world going out and running to all these different conventions and all that other stuff.
Well,
And you
I
don't
will.
see every indie author like going to everything either, and they have extremely successful careers. So for people to say that you have to go out there,
I will say I'm with an indie publisher, so it's like a small publishing house. It's not like it's a
yeah,
huge traditional big publishing house.
yeah,
So I'm sort of in the middle. Like
right,
there's
yeah.
the truly traditional publishing on one side, truly indie on the other, and I'm sort of
Yeah.
sort of like in the middle. So I have a hard time speaking to either one because if you asked either camp, I probably don't belong.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a
So,
make or break either. That
mm-mm,
if you go, this or that. I think it has something to do with what's comfortable for you.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it's not comfortable for you, it's not a make or break that, oh, I have to run to this festival, or I have to go to this festival, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. Regardless if you do it or not, you're going to be who you are. So it's not a make or break.
I think
I,
it falls down to two things. Write a good book, one. Two, market the shit out of it. And if you're really good at marketing, or you know how to find the right ways to market it, you're going to have a fantastic career. And if you can do those two things, whatever that marketing may be. The marketing could be social media, the marketing could be ads, the marketing could be on the circuit running to all these different events. Whatever that marketing is that you're very, very, very good at after you've written that fantastic book, then you're going to have a great career.
Yep.
That's what it falls down to.
Yeah.
I do want to do some of these things at some point because, like, that's sort of something that I at least want to check off the list, like see what it is, see, say I've been to it, wasn't really my thing, or hey, yeah, I loved it. Because I think we also run the risk of, if we say, oh, I'm never going to do that, then you could be missing out on something that you actually are really good at. Because I
Yeah.
do like talking to people, obviously, or I wouldn't come to these type of things.
Obviously, you're doing an amazing job, Justina.
Aw, thank you. But yeah, I like talking to people. I like okay, so I think this is the aspect of it that sort of makes me put on the brakes. Like with online marketing, you run the risk of just strictly being buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. And that's not the way to make connections. And so when you're in this live event with, let's say, 20 other authors, and you're all screaming, buy me, buy me, buy me, I'm sort of like, I wonder if that part of my brain that flips into being like super self-conscious and being like, oh my gosh, nobody's coming by my table, oh my gosh, is it this, like, and starts over analyzing. I wonder if that part of me sort of wouldn't be flipped, if that makes sense. And I'm not going to be really myself, because I'm going to be going, oh, is this right, oh, is this right?
Well, I can only say about me, and I'm glad that you were open with that. When on social, like you were saying, it says, buy me, buy me, buy me, buy this book, buy this book, buy this book. But I love that in-person interaction, get to know the person, and then let them see who you are. And they be like, wow, I want to support her. So it's all about the connection for me. I'm that in-person person. Now, CJ is the total opposite of that. But it's okay. But for me, I'm able to go, hey, I'm ready to go full force, and I can meet people and everything, and just have that connection. Is it good? Is it bad? Sometimes some people are like, they'll just walk by, and it's okay. But then there's some people that just have that curiosity, like, well, what does she have today? And I love those type of people. I reel them in, hey, and I have a conversation with them, because if you make them feel important, then they will, they'll support you in what you're doing. So I would tell any author, never say never when it comes to that, but make sure that you're comfortable in your own skin while doing it, because you don't want to get out there and you're not comfortable. And then and then it's like, well, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And then you don't never do it anymore. So make sure that you're comfortable in whatever you do.
Yeah.
So I used to be this really outgoing person. I used to be this person that was always out front. I used to stand up in front of people and train them, talk to them, and all this other stuff. And I used to go to events. I mean, I was an Avon lady for a little while, if y'all didn't know that.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Avon?
Yeah, I was all of these things. I was all of this stuff. And I used to be out there and in person and everything. And I supported everybody. I bought their products. I bought this. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know what I found out? People want to sell you their things, but the moment you say, well, would you like to try? They're like, oh no. Oh, no. So I was like, I support everybody. The problem is nobody was supporting back. And I thought, here I am everybody's cheerleader, but ain't a soul out there even not even saying, I'll pray for you. I mean, they wouldn't even pray for you. So I thought, and then when they would walk by my booth after, you did so many things for them. You promoted them, you tagged them, you sent business their way, because there were some businesses that I was doing some great promotion for, and I was sending business their way. They went from nothing to a lot of things and all this other stuff. they would walk by you and act like you weren't good enough for them. And they would literally, and I would go to get services from them, and they would no longer put their best person on you anymore. They would put their lowest person on. So
Mm.
and I literally, that's what put me inside my house. I said, you know what? I ain't got time for these people. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to say my prayers every day. And I'm no longer going to support the people who don't deserve it. I'm no longer going to put myself out there for people, because it started affecting my mental health. And I said, it's not fair that my energy and effort goes into supporting people who only care about winning. Because my theory is we all climb the ladder to heaven together. When we go through them pearly gates, we're going through as a whole tribe of cheerleaders, you know. So for me, that person who was outgoing, who was the Avon lady, who was literally pushing everybody up to the top, the ladder got broken. And I says, you know what? I got time for this petty stuff. So I came inside my house, and since I came inside my house, it's been a great place. I don't feel less than. I don't feel bulldozed over. I cut my own hair now. I no longer dye my hair because I was like, my scalp was starting to hurt. I'll buy a couple wigs. I got my first wig coming. It's pink. I'm so excited about that. And I said, it's not worth it. I joined a group of people online, and I was buying all of their products. I said, I'm going to support you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to support you. Not one of them would share my books. None of them would buy my books. And I said, well, you know what? Well, shit, it was happening online as well. So I backed away from that group. And I said, wow, no matter where you go, humans today are starting to literally forget the fact that we need to connect, that we need to have what we're doing right here.
But what
None
happens
of
when you?
us,
I'm
none of
sorry,
us
CJ.
trying, none of us are trying to sell our books. We're trying to
Mm-hmm.
have a genuine conversation
Mm-hmm.
about what we do as writers and laugh and be
Right.
free human beings. And this is the beauty of what I started the author's porch for, was to have conversations with authors, because we live in a solitary world. And that's why I've become the person who doesn't leave the house
Mm.
and talks to my dogs and loves my husband fiercely, because he goes and does everything that I need to get done outside the house, and I've got all these delivery services, and I write my books, and I'm perfectly happy because I no longer allow people inside my peace.
Mm.
And I quit talking to most everybody online because they're not worth my peace, because they're more worried about selling than they are connecting. And I'm okay with that.
And what I was going to say was, when you're winning, 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 what happens when you lose or something doesn't go your way? How are you going to back off? Are you going to just shut down? No, you got to continue going. And just like you said, this type of group and this type of environment is good, because if I don't know how to market, I can see what Justine is doing and kind of put that with what I'm doing and see and make it work. But if I'm just focused on what I'm doing, I'm winning, and I'm not open to anything. I'm not open to any dialogue. You just shut down when you're not open. So my thing is,
Yep.
I love the conversations on the authors chats. I love talking with different authors, because Elizabeth does not know everything at all. And I'm open to where
Poor
I'm
child.
able to glean, but also able to, turn off my light and let someone else's light shine to see what they have to offer and be able to use that, because I don't know everything. There's stuff that Justina might have that I might need. There's stuff that CJ might have that I might need. But we have to be willing to be open and be able to have these conversations with authors. The authors should be able to talk, and we should be able to help each other.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing, because when I have had author friends come to me for, I don't know, something that they think I did well, it always surprises me because I still feel like a greenhorn. I still I still, like I said earlier, I still just feel like this girl who's just writing my stories, and yay, I have someone who's interested in putting them out for people to see. Yay. Okay, on to the next book. It's like literally the way my brain works. It's like always just playing in the next story. And I just feel like this little kid that is having fun and yeah, I'll tell you about my book. Yeah, sure. I want to talk to you. Hi, nice person. Hello. You know, like the happy,
Yeah.
bouncy puppy, too much Red Bull. Funny, I've never had a Red Bull in my life, but that's always what I think of when it comes to energy drinks and when it comes to like bouncy craziness.
That's how it is. I used to
Oh
drink
yeah, the
5 Hour
Red Bull.
Energy.
That Red Bull will do it to you, just like the caffeine. They'll
Yes,
bounce you off
I'm
everywhere.
afraid
that'll
of
get you.
what would actually happen to me if I had a Red Bull. If a strong cup of coffee can make me sick, Lordy, what would one of those do?
I
I'd
tell
be
you,
like, oh, KO.
I used to drink when I was in Kosovo. They introduced me to Red Bull and vodka, and I will
So
tell
wait,
you
so
what,
you're
it was a
dizzy and
long
you're
night.
weaving.
Now I don't drink anymore. I mean, that was years ago. I was 29, going on 30. I haven't drank in 7, 8 years. But Red Bull and vodka, 7 o'clock in the morning, you was going strong.
Did
It's a
you just
very
say
dangerous.
you're dizzy and you're weeping at the same time? So how did it make you feel? I mean,
Oh, me? Oh, it
yeah.
was great. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. I was still going.
I'm
Whoa.
clumsy enough
Oh,
when
but
I'm
it's the
sober.
worst
I
headache.
cannot imagine what I would be like on alcohol.
Oh, it's the
I
worst
collect
hangover.
mystery bruises because I run into everything. What the heck?
Mystery bruises. It's the worst hangover ever. Don't ever do it. And I will tell you, it's extremely dangerous as well. Any medical doctor will tell you that it's extremely dangerous because you've got one that's supposed to go down, you got the other one bringing you
Supposed to
up.
go up.
Oh,
You could have a heart attack. Don't do it. I am amazed I'm not dead.
Yeah,
I've
that's
I've
bad.
never had alcohol just because, like I said, I am clumsy. I can only imagine. Like, y'all, I trip over my feet when I'm just me. I'm just normal. Like, you get one drink in me, I'm gonna fall over. Like, what?
Well, don't try it, Justina. No alcohol and no Red Bull, please.
I'm good.
I
I'm
used to
good. I can be
I
crazy on my own. Thank you.
I used to take a 5 hour energy shot when I was in Oman. I'd take a 5 hour energy shot and go work out. I'd have the best workout in my life. And doctors will tell you as well that you'd explode your heart. But to me, it helped me go do a great workout. I also came back looking like a 12-year-old little boy. I was so skinny. So
Mm.
don't do that.
Thank you for those helpful tips, CJ.
I'm
Yes.
trying to make sure everyone survives today.
Yeah, where I'm surviving. I hope Justina's surviving because she says she trips without it in her system. So
I do. Okay, here's the weird thing. I can walk in 6 inch heels, no problem. You put me in flats, I'm tripping all over the place. Like, I don't know why.
I cannot walk in heels.
oh,
You're my
I
hero.
walk in heels. I love heels.
I
I
love
I'll
love
heels.
break
Yes.
an ankle
Yes, I have like a
and a
shoe
kneecap.
collection over in the corner there.
You wore
Okay.
heels before, right, CJ?
A long time ago. Only I think the last time I wore heels was when I was in the military because it's basically required to have at least a quarter of a heel
Mm.
in your mesh dress. I can't remember any of the rules because I'm not military anymore, so I don't care to remember any of the rules. I'm just trying to remember if that I have to change pen names because the coaches tell me that since I write in different genres, I'm confusing my readers. So now I'm gonna have to remember different pen names. But anyways, yeah, I did. I went, see, you're not the only squirrel in the room.
I love heels. I don't know if they have to be 8 inches tall, but at least 6.
Well, they do
The
say that they make a woman look sexier when she wears heels. But for me, I'm like, look, all my sexiness is for my husband, and he don't mind that I wear short. That I wear slip-on shoes. I'll just let you know, I wear slip-on shoes, mostly Crocs. I'm a very lazy individual nowadays. I don't leave the house, so it's
A
mostly these
nice
house
crop.
slippers.
Oh, those look
These are
Christmas.
for inside the house. And then I have my Crocs for when I go outside the house in the yard because I try not to wear the same shoes inside as outside. And I'm the only one. My husband wears the
I'm
same
seeing a lot of
shoes.
Crocs. Well, a lot of people are wearing Crocs now, and they're having their. Well, one time I went to the supermarket, and I seen this young girl that had Crocs on, and she had the different things on the Croc, on her
Oh
Croc, like
yeah.
the different pins. And I said, "Wow, I love those Crocs." And she said, "Each one of these represents who I am." So I thought that was
Oh,
really, she had a crown. She had, she was she's going to nursing school, so she had the different things in there, and she loved her Crocs. So
I should get a bunch of
So
books for mine.
yeah, CJC, decorate your
yes.
Crocs up, Croc decorate.
So
Yeah, that's
for me, like I used to wear heels a lot, and I used to tutor adult GED students in essay writing. And I'd come in wearing like a t-shirt, jeans, and a pair of heels. Like that was what I did. I got to be known as the shoe girl.
the shoe girl.
Like I didn't even think about it. Like I was just wearing them because a lot of these students were really nervous when they would start working with me. But if they see me walking in wearing this insane pair of heels, they have an automatic in. How the heck are you walking in those?
Mm.
And that's just an automatic, like it's an easy type of thing because I would always respond, not well. And I'd get them so they can laugh, at me. Hey, you're laughing at me. I'm not mad at you. It's good. Let's go, type of thing. So it was a tool for me. Not to mention it was just fun.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I always wore them. And if I happened to wear flats, just because I didn't really think about it, I wore flats one time, and this girl that I did not know stopped me and asked me if I was feeling okay. And I asked her I was like, yeah. She's like, you're not in your heels. I'm like, oh.
Oh,
It was
that's what I
so
forgot
funny.
today.
Huh?
Wow. I said, see, Justina on top of the world. She didn't see you on top of the world in your high heels.
Goodness gracious.
Wow. Awesome.
So, what is your you just finished your latest project, you said, right, Justina?
Yep.
Which is, can you announce it at all?
BioLife, this one.
BioLife. Okay, is it out?
Yep, it's on pre-order in ebook, and it's out in paperback.
Nice.
And this book and my other book, Whiskey Haze, are both publishing in December.
Okay. What genre is BioLife?
BioLife is science fiction.
Okay.
And it's my first science fiction book, and that's one thing that I'm really bad about is I've got everything under one name because it's all just me. Yeah, I have a ton of genres, but it's all me. So I don't know if different pen names is ever something I'm going to do, but I've been multi-genre from the very get-go. So like the readers that I have are kind of just used to me being crazy.
I feel you. That's what I'm working with at the moment.
But yeah, this book was a lot of fun to write. And so one of my kind of games that I play against myself anytime I do a suspense, a thriller, a sci-fi now, anything with like a major twist in it. My mom, my entire life, has been the type of person who can watch a movie and read a book, and within the first 10 minutes, she has the whole thing mapped out. She knows what's going to happen. If I can have her going, I don't know what's coming, then I know I've done my job well.
There you go.
And that was her with this book. So I was like,
can you read us the blurb? Can you read the blurb for us?
Oh, sure. Sorry, I didn't hear you. What would you do if you awoke covered in scars with no memory of where they came from? This hypothetical is a reality for me and 6 other people. Each of us were left for dead in the middle of nowhere with only one thought in mind: get to safety. We have no idea why we all had the same thought or what happened to us, but if it takes my last breath, we will.
Nice.
Good.
Sounds very, very interesting.
Interesting.
So the front is this. I don't know if you guys can see it easily.
You said January?
Nope, December.
December. Okay, I was a month off.
Back is.
Mm,
Mm,
okay.
awesome. Good
That
job, Jessica.
one, and
And you're
then
gonna put your websites in here again like you did last time. So if anybody wants to go and grab
yes,
those, okay,
yes, I
awesome.
will.
Thank
And they're
you.
easy to find because they're on the front page of my website. Has these two, and then my last
Mhm.
book that just published, which I think was The Clockwork Killer. I think this year, so many things.
Well, you're
Well,
gonna
get ready because 2023 is around the corner.
yes. Enjoy your break while it lasts.
Yes, I'm gonna start working on BioLife's sequel in January. So
There
that's
you
gonna be
go.
fun. I've already got it, kind of the scenes falling into place in my head. So we'll see.
What are
It's gonna be fun.
you working on, Elizabeth?
Well, I'm working on my memoir. I have a title and I have like this book description in my head that I want to run by you on later. But have Mama Mel is coming out November the 30th. That's exciting, exciting, very exciting for everyone, for me, for you, for everyone in the children's authors world. Excited about that book being released November 30th. And that happens to be the same day I take my finals for school. So I got my whole class like excited because we're going to do like this double party. So very excited about that.
Awesome.
But yeah, so working on that, and hopefully everything goes well. And graduation will be December the 14th, which is 2 days before my birthday.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Yes. So
Happy early
excited
birthday.
about that. Early birthday gift to myself. And I'll have my BS in organizational management. And I'm going to my mom asked me if I was going to get my master's, if I'm going to continue on. And I said, well, let me just go ahead and get this bachelor's first and we'll talk about that because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I know I need like a break from school. But other than that, it's all good.
Yeah. I stopped at my bachelor's. I had enrolled in my master's and then told myself, why? Like I stopped. I have my 2 associates and my bachelor's and 2 certifications, and I was like, I'm tired. I want to enjoy writing fiction books and get lost in worlds. But I don't work in the business world like you do. Like you're working for you work in a publishing company, you're in a business world. I'm just kind of hanging out. So for me, it didn't make sense. But for you, it makes sense. So
Yes.
that's why I said I'm not going to spend my money on that. I'm going to spend it on covers.
But trust me, I'm going to take a break. The bachelor's was, the classes were hard and long drawn out. You know, some went into class, some I took virtual. However, it had my mind just, with schoolwork and this and this and that. So I think I'm gonna take a little bit break, but not too much because when you take like a big break, it's done. You're
You
not gonna
lose
go
it.
back
Yeah.
to it. So, but yeah, so.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited for Mama Mel's to come out on the 30th of November. Auntie Nan and Elizabeth are going to be singing its praises on the 30th. That's my children's book pen name. And we co-wrote that together, had such a great time writing that with you, Elizabeth. So that's going to come out. And then in December, I've got that contemporary romance going out to just my newsletter peeps are getting it for free. And 10 lucky international winners are going to get that as well for the giveaway that I've posted on Instagram. I think it went on Facebook as well. So anyone that enters that giveaway will get it for free as well. That book won't be published until after I finish the trilogy. So
Mm.
once the Ace trilogy is complete, then it will be published so people can get that for free for the holidays. It is a Christmas story. Angelica is coming home for Christmas. So Thanks for being here today, guys. Justina, we always love having you. Come and have a
Justina.
conversation with
Thank
us
you. I had a
anytime.
blast. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Elizabeth, as always, enjoy having a conversation with you. We'll talk soon. We'll talk often. And it's always on a porch, yours or mine, anytime. Guys, we're going to catch you next time. Don't forget to come back and listen to the great conversations on the author's porch. Until then, we'll see you. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.